Hey!
Welcome to Golden Speakers, Toastmasters Club of Fairfield, Iowa, on this beautiful hot evening. And now our president, Will Burns.
Yo!
Thank you, Vera. And thank each and every one of you. It's our mission here at Toastmasters to start on time and to end on time. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being here on time. And I will do my best with the help of our role players to finish on time as well. The mission of every Toastmasters organization is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment where every member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and personal growth, which in turn fosters leadership and self-confidence.
Yay!
And now, it's my pleasure to introduce our Toastmaster.
You got a guest.
Oh, we have a guest who I thought was a former member at one point, or? Never? Welcome back. And what brought you back? Is it now the third time? Or the...
Yes, this is the third time. I figure everything deserves 3 opportunities at bat.
Well, welcome back. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you again, and I hope this one will be a more standard presentation of what this is like. I know the past 2 have been unorthodox, to say the least. So, welcome back.
Yay!
And now it is my pleasure to introduce our Toastmaster, Jesus Rios.
Yo!
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, viewers at home, honored guests. Tonight, my duty is to be the Toastmasters, and the duty of the Toastmasters is to make sure that everything runs on time. And today's theme is sportsmanship, so I'm just going to run through it. And I'm going to introduce the roles of the players for tonight's meeting. We have as a knock counter, Ron Kerr. Ron, will you please explain your role?
Yes, be happy to. As odd counter, I will be listening to each speaker in turn, listening for filler words, ums, ahs, you knows, repeats, tongue clicks, things like that.
Ha!
I will give you a report at the end of the meeting.
Our general evaluator tonight is going to be Stacy Maurer. Our grammarian, well, I'm going to go back to Jyoti Rak Adhikari. Would you please explain your role as a timer?
I'm Jyoti. My role is to keep track of the time of speaker and the evaluators. There will be table topics that will be 1 to 2 minute speeches. The green light will turn on 1 minute, yellow light on 1:30, and red lights on 2. Like that, prepared speeches are usually 5 to 7 minutes. I'll turn green light on 5 minutes if the speech is over 6 minutes, and red light on 6, and yellow on 6 and red on 7. Evaluation will be of 3 minutes. The green light is turned on 2 minutes, yellow on 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red light on 3 minutes. I'll keep the track of the time and give a report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Our grammarian for tonight is Vera Rose. Vera, would you please explain your role?
My role is to select, define, use word of the day, record its correct and incorrect usage, note all awkward and misuse of the words, report creative language usage, give report at the end of the meeting. And the word is courtesy. It is polite behavior, gesture, or remarks, and generosity. I have the courtesy of fulfilling this role tonight, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Our joke masters will be Stacy Maurer, so at the end of the meeting we'll be hearing from you, Stacy.
Ha!
Now please help me welcome our table topic master, Darlene Martin.
Yo! Uh-oh. I bet you she brought eggs to throw.
Thank you, Mr. Table Master. You're the Toastmaster. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow guests, members, and viewers at home. So this portion of our program is to give you an opportunity to think on your feet. And I have 5 different bags here with an object in them. 4 bags in one box. So you can come up and pick a bag or a box, and there's an item inside, and you can then tell us something fun or a game, kind of on the theme of sportsmanship, that you would be creative with this object, to play a game, or just have fun with it. Okay, who wants to be first?
Yay!
Thank you.
Here's 5 bags.
I've been absent for so long, so I figured I'd just do my first table topic situation.
Voila.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests, cameras, people with action. I had the courtesy tonight to arrive on time and to be brave enough to come up here and grab an object out of the bags. And I got the tailor-made golf ball that is, to me, a symbol of wholeness.
Ha!
And the main wholeness that we're talking about is the one I'm going to hit right now. Bam! Boom! Hole in one. That's what we're talking about. Wholeness. Because the sport that this ball is representing is like b-balls. Oh! Oh, man. I'm improvising. The sport that we're talking about here is the sport of taking the round ball and not putting it in the square hole, but actually putting it in the round hole as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Thereby by being the hole-in-one. So the hole-in-one is an inner and outer sportsmanship game. The inner side is the focus and the seeing it and the being it. The outer side is the doing it. And I right now am at a precipice of seeing, being, and doing, and I encourage you all to do the same with your inner golf ball. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Art. Okay, who would like to be the next victim? Stacy.
Yo!
Choose the box. Pretty box.
Ha!
Is the box trying to tell me something? Oh, there it goes. Oh, these are balloons. 2 pink balloons. So this reminds me of a game. You know, when I was a child, my favorite book was Winnie the Pooh. My favorite character was Pooh Bear. And if you know the story, he went to visit Eeyore on his birthday and took him a balloon. But unfortunately, the balloon popped on the way. But Eeyore was so touched that he still liked to play with the broken balloon, and he would put it in a jar and take it out, put it in a jar and take it out.
Or no, it was Piglet that took in the balloon. Piglet took in the balloon, fell over, and broke it. Pooh took him the honey jar, but he ate all the honey. So he had this empty jar of honey and this broken balloon, and that was his birthday present. He was so happy because everybody remembered his birthday, that he didn't care. He was just ecstatic. But anyway, and Eeyore must have been about 2 years old, because that's something like a 2-year-old would like to do, right? Just like stick something in a jar, take it out, stick something in a jar, take it out. But anyway, these are great toys though. I've had so much fun with balloons with my son. All you gotta do is blow them up and bat them around, and you can just bat them around, and you don't want to let them touch the ground. And you can spend hours with your kid doing that, you know? And we have. So I think these are like one of the best games. I don't know what they do for sportsmanship, but they're a lot of fun. Thank you.
Do we have time for another one?
Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Okay, we have plenty of time. Art. You have 3 more left.
3 left. This one.
Yep, and 3.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Yes, and viewers at home. I guess this will be a PG game that we play with this. I'm inspired by the balloons and the golf balls. We won't talk about the inner game of this role. We won't talk about birthdays with this role. What games could we play? Well, let's do a catalog of the games that people do play with these things. Starting out with TPing trees and cars and other public objects that weren't meant to have this festooned on them. That would be one game. A second game would be, if you're 2 years old, is finding this in the room where it sits and saying, how much can we roll off of this? And you being the parent, having the game of encouraging the creativity of this young one who has just rolled off 100 yards of paper and knows not what to do next. What other games can we play with this?
Mummy.
You just earned. Who said that? Yes. This is your winnings. And this is your winnings. They say money doesn't grow on trees, but here we are proving it. It does. Another game is purifying water. How many of you have ever seen a water purification system that's built around this as a filter for water? You haven't seen one of those? Well, I think the cameraman has seen one of those. Imagine a water filtration system for your home. And the experience of noticing that the water coming out of the purification tap is starting to get a little bit skanky smelling. And so going into the insides of this thing and pulling out a tremendously grotesque thing that used to be a clean roll of toilet paper and now has become the home of gazillions of mold and fungi, and they've been filtering into your water, not out of it, now for months and months, and you just discovered that. That's the kind of game that I played. I'd visit my mom's house once a year and be the one responsible for saying, this water doesn't smell very good, we better check the filtration system. Thank you, Ms. Stapleton.
Do we have time?
Yep,
One more?
lots of time.
Okay, time for one more. Okay, our guest, please. Thank you, guest. I forget your first name.
Barb.
Barb, thank you, Barb.
We got 10 more minutes.
Oh, we have 10 more minutes?
You can do them over again.
Are you
There's one
serious?
left.
I'm serious.
There's one left.
shock people, so.
Do you want to do it, Darlene? Do you want to? Or no, you can't because you're...
Rahul wants to do it.
You wanna do it? Okay, you wanna,
The last one.
you wanna do, okay. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Masters, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and viewers at home. My name is Words, Rahul Words. Well, I realize this is something perfect for a newlywed couple. Can anybody see what it is? Anybody want to tell what it is?
Nah.
No? Candy? It still remains a PG show, don't worry. It's a condom. With condom, one of the famous things that I ever remembered is a joke. And that joke is about Gandhism. Gandhism is a trait of practicing Gandhiji's principle into real life, into your daily life. And this is a funny joke because India needs to control population. And people are discussing ways, and they also want to promote local and national stuff. So their talk gets centered around condom. And they say we should have a local condom. And inspired by Gandhism, it should be made out of khadi. Khadi is a cloth. So it doesn't help the purpose of population control. That's one of the funnest game and joke that I remember with this. Thank you very much. And with this, I'd like to return back to my table topic. Thank you for giving me such a wonderful object. I can carry it home, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Raul. You did an excellent job with that. So.
Got room for two more.
We have two more? Okay. Okay, anybody else would like to come? You, Pendra? Okay.
I remember another joke on condom, so I will go on that.
Are you serious?
Members, guests, and viewers at home. When Rahul was talking about condom, another joke came to my mind because India population is very big, and we make joke on how to control the population. So these family planning people were going from village to village, and they were teaching people. And we are kind of modest people, but not in modest with producing children. And they said, okay, this is the condom, and this is the stick, and you roll over like this, right? When you go to your business, and that's what you should do. After about 1 or 2 years, they came back, and there was no change in the population. And said, we got all this condom, and you were collecting it. Were you using it? Yes, we use it every night. Did you have children? Yes. What did you do? We took our thumb, we rolled over the condom, and we had sex. Another joke I remember about the condom was, this family planning people were going, and they were getting the average size of the family. It was 4, 5. One village they went up, it was 7 or 8. I said, listen, we are not here to criticize you. We just want to know, what is the reason why all of a sudden population jump here? You guys are producing more than anybody else. Everybody starts scratching their head, back, they don't know. A young guy who was newly married like you, he just stood and said, can I speak? Yes. And he said, I know why we have more children than other people. He said, what? Do you know our village is very close to the train station, and every time a train passes, we wake up. Thank you.
That does answer Fairfield population.
Okay, Tom says we have time for one more.
And they can pick anything they want.
Okay. You can pick anything you want.
No.
Well, maybe I could. I'll go.
Sure, yeah.
Welcome.
Hello.
5 bags up here. Pick whatever you like.
Okay. Golf ball. Awesome. Well, this ball does magical things. You think it, and it'll make whatever you think happen. I wanted this to be a golf ball. That's serious. We can make this into wonderful playthings, wonderful objects. We can make them into a soccer ball, a basketball, or even a golf ball. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for your participation. And with that, we'll turn it back over to our Toastmaster.
We need to vote.
We're gonna take 1 minute to vote for the best table topic. Welcome back. Now, we're coming to our meeting part of the
No.
Table topics evaluation.
table topics evaluation. Yes, for that, please help me welcome Cindy Trainer, General Evaluator.
Wow, what a challenge everyone presented me tonight. I thank you very much. Thank you everyone who came up here. It was great to hear everyone talk. Arthur Leland was first out of the box, or the bag, so to speak. Arthur moved around. He had good use of the stage. But I don't think you were pacing. You weren't wandering back and forth pacing. But one of the protocols for table topic speakers and table topic masters is to greet your speaker. When your speaker comes up here, shake the hands, and when the person's finished with their presentation, also grab them, even if it means chasing them off stage.
Give it to
Stacy told a personal story. She was out here in front of her audience, closer to her audience. It makes it a more personal talk. Art, I liked your fun stories. I was paying so much attention to the objects and the fun stories and the things that people were talking about that they shared with us their personal life, that I wasn't very good, in my own personal opinion, about giving recommendations of what they could improve. I really liked your analogy of the bag being like a day. You get up in the morning and you open it like you open the bag and see what's inside. I liked how you paused. You paused to gather your thoughts. Some other people, like myself, might stand up here and go, you know. And you didn't. You did not do that. You just paused and were quiet until you picked up the thread and what you wanted to say next, and that's a very good technique. Well done. And Rahul, I liked your personal story and the joke. I hope it goes along with the Toastmasters' promise about being family friendly, and the same for Apindra. I didn't catch your name.
Oh, Chris.
Chris. I'm so glad you came up here, Chris. I like what you did with the golf ball. Your vivid imagination really came across. And you also had a good use of the pause at the end. That was well done. And now I'd like to turn it back over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Stacey. we're coming to the meeting part. To the meeting part of our meeting. It's kind of the same thing. And please help me welcome Tom Trainer, who's going to read the objectives for Upendra Sharma, who will be doing his icebreaker. And
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, guests, yours at home. Upendra is doing something that I usually do, which is to do all speech 2 through 10 and then do the icebreaker last. That's because I've done my icebreaker a lot. He started Toastmasters a long time ago, and when he rejoined, he goes, I'll find my book, I'll find my book. Well, it was too far back. So he's redoing speeches 1, 2, and 3. He did speech 2 and 3 at the Advanced Club. Tonight he's doing his icebreaker. I will read the objectives and I will read his intro. So the icebreaker is the speech where the new member, which is an old new member, but he's new as an old member. You can play with that all you want. Introduces himself to the club and begins speaking before an audience at a new level. And the speech should have a clear beginning, middle, and end. Use notes, do whatever he wants, have a good time. His title is What I Was, What I Am, What I Want to Be. It's my pleasure to introduce a very unique Toastmaster to you tonight. He's a very conscientious member. He's very caring, very courageous, and he's full of courtesy. His favorite color is blue. His favorite cartoon character is Popeye. His favorite book is the Bhagavad Gita. His favorite movie is Gandhi. His favorite festivals are Navaratri and Diwali. And his favorite city is Fairfield. His favorite river is the Ganges. His favorite mountain is the Himalayas. Favorite animal is the cow. Favorite flower is rose. Favorite plant, tulasi, basil. He believes in theories of reincarnation, karma. And the people who have had a great influence in his life are his father, Mahatma Gandhi, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. He is a liberal. He's none other than Upendra Sharma. Please help me warmly welcome Upendra. It's time to rise,
I would also like to mention, thank you very much, Tom. My favorite Toastmaster is Tom Trainer. My favorite speaker is Jesus. My favorite evaluator is Jill Samantrell Craig, though she's not here.
Ah!
And my favorite club is Toastmasters Club. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members, guests, and viewers at home. Tonight, I'm going to talk about what I was, what I am, and what I want to be. My past is very wavy. It's full of successes and failures. Some of these successes that still stick to me is twice in my elementary school, I was a wrestling champion. First grade, nobody in the elementary school can defeat me in wrestling. Fifth grade, nobody can defeat me in wrestling because of my strong legs. Also, in 1963, I won a competition. I was not even prepared. Somebody told me a year before, there's a competition, write an essay. I wrote an essay on Jawaharlal Nehru. Even that age, I was a vivid reader. I belonged to a family of readers. And I won the essay. Oh, my mother was so happy, you know. I beat my elder brother who was 2 years older. But I was the champion. In elementary, when I went to middle school, my first poetry was published, and I still remember that. In high school, I played badminton. I also won 1500 kilometer race, and that was also unprepared, unannounced. My brother said, you have to join it. He was the first one, I was the third one. I don't want to beat that brother that time. He's a little taller than me. My failure, which stick to me, is still, when I was in 6th grade, I wanted to learn music. because I like when people say, would you like to sing, especially in our spiritual meetings and so on. So I went to this class, along with a lot of class. We have to sing sa re ga ma pa tha ni sa, and at the end teacher will say. So some people will go to this side of the room, other will go to that side of the room. At the end of the class, teacher said, those who are sitting on that side of the room, go to the art class, other will do the music. I was sitting on that side of the room. My dream to sing in religious meeting was shattered. 1972 and 1973, I participated in pre-medical test, entrance medical college examination test. I was failed twice. It was very frustrating. Another thing was very frustrating, but all my other friends I was preparing with, they got selected. 1973, hell with it. I can prove myself. I prepared it again. I was again not selected. All the friends I had were selected. I said, oh my God. So those are the two failures that still stick to me. I said, well, life is not what you always want, sometimes what is given to you by the courtesy of God and other people. So I ended up doing 1978, I got masters in botany. From 77 to 1982, I worked in National Botanical Research Institute, Industrial Toxicology Research Institute, and Hindustan Aluminium Corporation. That was all in India. Then I said, this is not thing. If I want to care for people, I should have means for caring. And the people I love is my family. I said, I need to leave India. This is not. I see my seniors, I don't want to end up like them. So I came to Jamaica, and from 82 to 92, I taught biological sciences. 6 years for at the college. One time I was nominated as the best science teacher of the country. I was not selected. Success and failure, I really don't care for that by that age. Then I went to St. Lucia. I taught at St. Mary's College. That college has produced 2 Nobel laureates. So all these big dignitaries, their children used to come, and I used to enjoy talking to the father more than the children. You don't want to talk to the children of the successful people. You are here. My father is so big, you know. Anyway, then I said, this is not something I want to be. So I came to America in 1998. I got my degree in Master's in Business Administration. Then nothing worked out good. So I went to Indian Hill Community College, got a degree in 2008. I got RN, ADN diploma. And 2011, I got certification in psychiatric nursing. While I was going to school all this year, 97 to 2008, I worked for Rescare Mental Health Community Services. And I also taught at Indian Hill Community College. And in 2008, I worked at the VA Medical Center, taking for the psychiatric people. That is what I was. Was has taken more time. What I am now, I'm working as a nurse, taking care of the people who have given too much to our country. I always owe them, I always remember. I could sleep because they were working hard. They were risking their life while my children were safe in this country. So I have an opportunity to serve them. My daughter has been accepted to medical college, and I'm proud that she's going to Medical College, University of Iowa. My son is continuing as a biomedical engineer, and my wife is trying to find an employment so she can join a family. That is what I am, and I'm a Toastmaster. What I want to be is the most important thing. In 2020, I want to retire, and then I want to focus on my spiritual development. I want to read Vedic literature, and I want to write Vedic literature, maybe in English. I also want to own a farmhouse where I can have cows, where I can grow organic vegetable, and where I want to have a very fine vegetarian restaurant. When I read at restaurants, I live frustrated. I say, I can do better job than them. And I want to prove it one time. And also, when I die, I would like to be cremated, and my ashes
need to be spread in the Ganges, that's my favorite river, in the Himalayas, my favorite mountain, and if you have a time, bring me the red roses, my favorite flower. Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster.
I'm not going to say, Pedro, that I am flattered that you like my speeches, because for me, you're an example to follow. I'm always looking forward to your speeches, and through tonight, and you did really great. Now, let's please take 2 minutes to evaluate the speaker. Next, please help me welcome Art Atkinson, who will be reading the objectives for Raul Batts. Raul will be doing his competent communicator #1, and here we have Art with his objectives.
Thank you, Jesus. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests, including those viewing at home. We have a movement going on here. Our Indian native speakers are prepared to do the second pass through their competent communicator at a new higher level. Rahul Vance is the next speaker who is going to do a second icebreaker. Rahul, having recently completed his competent communicator, giving us an inspiring speech, #10, is now working through the series again. His objectives are to begin speaking at a new higher level in front of an audience, incorporating everything that he's learned and introducing himself to us in a more deep or profound way than he did before, and to discover speaking skills that he now has mastered and can use, and those that still need some work to become more fully expressed. Our next speaker, Rahul, is a native of India, recently married in India, but now resident in the United States doing technical work. He's been a member of Toastmasters for nearly a year. I believe that I'll let him tell more about himself.
Yo!
First time visitors. I'm still shaking, I'm still nervous. Well, good evening friends, fellow members, honored guests, and viewers at home. My name is Vats, Rahul Vats. This quote, when I say it in this manner, reminds you, or probably could remind you, of James Bond. Doesn't it? It does. And why I selected my introduction to be that way is because I was watching a James Bond movie with Hindi dialogues, dubbed in Hindi. And it had a quotation which I relate my life very deeply to. That quotation is also said by Swami Vivekananda. And what it means is, awake, arise, and stop not till your goal is reached. And it is very deep to my heart for a reason which only a person who has broken someone's heart could understand. My name is Vats, Rahul Vats. I was born in Ujjain. Ujjain is the second most ancient city in the world. A place with a lot of deep cultural, spiritual, philosophical background. And I guess most of what I am today is because of the place where I was born. And the very good thing with me and the place where I was born is I spent most of my life there. I'm 27 and I spent 21 years in that place. And when I was growing up, I realized one day, with the awakening of this thought, that there are a lot of people in this world who've got immense talent. Very deep, immense talent. Yet, it is very rare that all those people get a platform to show to the world what their talents are. What is unique about them? That was my awakening. With that awakening, I started working on a concept which is still my closest dream, and I call it Talkway Innovators at that time, which is an organization that I registered. And I started working with friends of mine who were having not enough resources in terms of financial capital, in terms of support in their family, in terms of motivation that one would need to do something drastic, to go that one step ahead in pushing to show the world that they are capable of doing something that nobody else is. And that was the time I made the biggest mistake of my life. You know what's said about great leaders is great leaders know and see the person just like Johari. Johari is a miner, for to say, who identifies, goes into a minefield and separates gems from stone. And even if a stone is given to him, he converts them into a gem. That's the quality of leader. And I was taking that role of the leader, but what I couldn't do was to tell them that you do have this talent, but there is no one better than you in this field. We were working on a project of music album when that great mistake of my life happened. In India, working on a music album when you are students with no money, no financial resources, could be considered a drastically insane act. Nobody would support you. Nobody would ever come to you and pat on your back and say, you have talent, go ahead, we are supporting you. At that time, I was there with my friends and trying to support them, motivate them, and tell them that yes, there is nobody better than you to do this job. But the sad time would come. And the sad time was, while this was happening, the awakening that I had was at a time when my parents were not talking to me. It was for a period of 5 years. They were not talking to me. I was funding my own education with the help of one of my uncles and doing these projects at the same time. Right about when my music album was supposed to be launched, my parents called me up saying they wanted to meet me. And I left to meet them, and the team crumbled with whom I was working on the music album. That was the second awakening. At that time when the team crumbled, all the blame came on me for not being there through the tough times. At that time, all the motivation, love, and support was there, but the financial resources were not in place. And the only person who could have done that was me. I tried my level best to do it from being away from them, but the team could not have the faith to keep working together and promoting what we were working on. My parents at that time fell in too much deep love with me, and they wanted me to progress, grow up, and go ahead and study abroad, which was again one of my dreams. And I had to respect what they wanted to do for me. At that time, I came to Fairfield, Iowa, the place where I had my third awakening. Because of all the conflicts that I'd been through with my project, with my team, I came here and studied at Maharishi University of Management with the sole goal of doing retrospection on myself and finding out what I had been doing, was it correct? With everyday prayer for all of my friends to realize that trust and faith is a very big thing in life. Once you lose it, you lose something really important in your life. 2 years later, when I came to America, all of my friends reunited. And they felt that at that time, had we remained together with proper communication, we could have done wonders with the project. And they contacted me to tell that they were sorry for whatever the behavior was at that time, and the fact that they couldn't understand why it was important for me to be with my parents, not be able to support them when they needed me. This was the rising point. And after that point, all of us friends, we realized and we worked, we decided that we will work together and release that music album sometime later in our life. And finally, when I was getting married, we did release that music album. So that quotation of awake, arise, and stop till not your goal is reached is something which is very close to my heart, and which is what I wanted to give it to you, in order to understand that one's life could be difficult. Just don't stop trying. And you would not believe it, but there is a movie which is made on this entire situation, and it's a very famous Bollywood movie. With that, on this note, I'll just leave you with the thought of awake, arise, stop not till your goal is reached. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'd like to ask Master Timer Jyoti, did all the speakers qualify?
Yeah, both of them qualified.
Both of them? Would you please call out their name?
First is Upendra Sharma, second is Rahul Watts.
Thank you very much. Let's take a moment to vote now for the best speaker. Now, please help me welcome our general evaluator, Stacy Mauer.
Now we come to the evaluation portion of our meeting. So first we will have Tom Trainer evaluate Upendra Sharma.
Madam Journal Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, distinguished viewers from home, Upendra, the opportunity to do your icebreaker again. I remember the icebreaker somewhat many years ago. I was his mentor 6 years ago, so I had some flavor of that. Let me talk about what was really good tonight. Excellent use of the stage to speak to the audience. He wasn't pacing, he was moving with purpose to communicate to everyone in here. Valuable point. That after 10 speeches, I expect that. Very good. You give yourself a high five and a check off. What else? Excellent. Speaking voice, clear speaking voice, well organized. Those are the points that you've developed. You had them, but when you first came, you talked way too quickly. Remember the conversations we used to have about that? What did he learn? Slow it down so we can all understand your wonderful English diction. Excellent diction. What do we get to know about him? Well, the story you told, a personal story about your ups and your downs. What you exposed was your character, the essence of who you are. You're not the up, you're not the down. You're this person who just goes on. Life is about smoothness for you. If you know him, you've seen him, you get to know that about him. So he exposed that in a deeper form. We got to know why he has that smoothness of character. Adequate preparation? You can't get any better than telling a story about your life. Personal story, perfect. Speaker talked loudly and clear. Yes, very clear diction. Did a great job. Speech had a better beginning, middle, and end. I thought so. There was an awful lot of body. Kind of skimped on the conclusion. I'd like to see you break the time up so that you have a little bit more for the body, give yourself a little bit more conclusion. No notes, but after 10 speeches, we kind of expect that, don't we? One thing you could do, use your voice in soft mode. You tend to be a one-range singer. You sing one range, one thing of the range. Use more of it. What I love is a true life story. Madam General Evaluator.
Now we'll have our next evaluator, Art Atkinson, will evaluate from the left.
Thank you, Stacy. Good evening, Toastmasters, guests, viewers at home. My name is Art Atkinson. Art Atkinson. Requires the right delivery. Ha! So one of the many things that was great about this talk was the gimmick that he used to thread the whole thing together. There were two themes that he brought back to us a couple of times. One was the theme based on this, my name is Watts, Rahul Watts, and the connection with James Bond. So that was used at the beginning, the middle, and tied it at the end. The second one was Three Awakenings. So that was a good organizational technique. Among the things that were well done in your talk, Rahul, the delivery technique. You are probably the preeminent person in the club who takes time in the middle of a sentence to collect your thoughts and say something succinctly and beautifully. You do that very well. You used the space well. You were, like Upendra, well in charge of the space, speaking with direct eye contact to different parts of the audience. You're clearly a thoughtful, dedicated person to very high ideals. Let me now move on to the things that would improve this talk. You've already done 10 speeches, so we're going to step the game up here. First of all, the evaluator needs some advance notice. Needs to know what you're going to talk about, some idea to give him some direction to go. And I didn't get any of that. I don't have a book to work from that you're working on. So I'm flying by the seat of my pants. That's a lack of preparation. You needed no notes, which is terrific, and you did a great job of doing a talk without notes. But the evaluator needs your project in order to do his job right. There's a posture thing that you do which involves clasping your hands and a little bit of a stooping thing. And I want to encourage you to let this gorgeous body of yours out rather than kind of pulling it in, the shoulder roll. So just be aware of that. There's a little bit of that. The other thing that made it difficult for me about your talk, you spoke abstractly about the team that you were assembling, about your project, and I was always looking for what is this team trying to create, what is the project? And you kept it all at such an abstract level that I never actually got that. And although I know that it's something intended to be the best in the world and have an impact, a positive impact on the world, I have no idea what it is. And I'm not sure that anyone in the room does. And I believe that it would really add to the talk if we did. So I want to encourage you not to be quite so abstract with it. It can still be high level. With that, this is Ms. General Evaluator.
And now let's go through our reports. Oh, excuse me. First we'll vote for the best evaluator. Did they all qualify?
Yes, well.
And so you can vote for Tom Trainer, Art Atkinson, or Cindy Trainer, who was the tabletop evaluator. Okay. Now we'll have our reports. First, let's have a report from the timer, Jyoti Radek.
Here is my time report. In table topics, author, 1 minute 52 seconds. Stacy Moore, 1 minute 30 seconds. Art Atkinson, 2 minute 49 seconds. Barbara, 1 minute 30 seconds. Rahul, 1 minute 36 seconds. Upendra Sharma, 1 minute 56 seconds. Krish, 1 minute exactly. For prepared speeches, Upendra Sharma, 7 minutes, even. Rahul Bhatt asks for 8 to 10 minutes. He has 10 minutes 19 seconds. Table topic evaluators, Cindy, 2 minutes 48 seconds. Speech evaluators, Tom Trainer, 3 minutes 7 seconds. Art Atkinson, 3 minutes 28 seconds. Thank you.
Now we'll have a 1 minute report from the counter. Who is Ron Kerr?
Thank you. Will had a clean slate. Jesus and Darlene, something interesting. You did these, is Darlene here? Yeah, there you are. There's these micro umps that just kind of slide in. They're real fast and they're short, but they're there. If you can get the video, the DVD of this, catch yourself. It's very intriguing. I was like, what? Oh, it took me a while to catch them, but they're there. Okay, so Jesus, you had 3 of those, and then Darlene, you had 2 uhs and 2 ums. Jyoti, you had 5 uhs, and they were all just right here when you gave the report, before each person. Okay. I have 2, that gives me 3. Vera, clean slate. Darlene, we talked about Arthur, nice clean slate. Arthur Leland, most improved. Excellent, excellent work. If you think back just that first time and second time you were here, you were the king of the filler words, not a peep. Perfect job.
I counted 50 at my TEDx talk for 4 minutes. Oh! 50!
50!
Yeah, I was riding my bike and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. On video.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great. Stacy, we had a a so, and and. The thing about so's and ands, sometimes these are actual viable words. But the catch is if we use the and over and over again, then we have a run-on sentence. If you wrote that down, you'd see an and, you'd know that's not right. We have to avoid that in speaking as well. Art, nice clean slate. Barb, you had, you see how easy they are to get in there. And then 4 ums. But you did a great job for getting up there. Raul, we had a couple of ums and a you know, and a couple of extra ands we didn't need there. Upendra, excellent. Chris, excellent work, man, excellent. Cindy, 2 demo ums. They were demos. Tom, clean slate, and Stacy with just 1 That'll be my report.
Now we'll have a 2-minute report from the grammarian, Vera Rhodes.
Yo!
Courtesy is more, I believe, a way that we express ourselves in action as well. So it's probably a verb more than a noun. So the users, I will include that displayed courtesy as well as the word. And our theme of the day, Stacy used sportsmanship. I thought that was creative, and Arthur used sportsmanship. And the guest used courtesy in her speech. Raul displayed courtesy in saying thank you graciously. He thanked us for being here, for him having the opportunity to speak. I thought that was very sweet, very courteous. And Cindy, nice courtesy with thanking each one who participated in her part of the speeches tonight. And Rahul showed great courtesy to go visit his parents. I thought that was an action of courtesy. And later, the courtesy of his friends to come again and work together and want to be part of his vision. And some words, phrases that were very inspiring, impressive. Arthur, people with action. And Art, purifying water. I thought that was very creative. I've never really seen it done if he just made that up. That was cool.
No, it's real.
And Chris, creative uses with the golf ball. That was nice. Tom, new as an old member. That was nice. Yapendra, life is not always what you want, sometimes what is given to you. Rahul's quote, awake, arise, and stop not till your goal. And Rahul again, trust and faith is a very big thing. So you all, thanks for your great sportsmanship.
Thank you, Vera. Now we'll have a 1-minute report from the joke master, Stacy Maurer, who is myself. So is there anybody in the audience that's dyslexic? Okay, so we have a couple. So this joke is for you. A rabbi, a preacher, and a lawyer walked into a bra. Anyway. And that's all I have for jokes tonight.
Yes.
And now we'll have the 4-minute general evaluator comments, and that's again me, Stacy Maurer. So my job is to evaluate the evaluators. At Toastmasters, we're big on evaluating because that's how we improve and get better by people giving us feedback on what we can do better. So the first evaluator I'll evaluate is Cindy Trainer. She was the table topics evaluator. And Cindy did an awesome job considering there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 table topic speeches. And that's kind of, I think, a record. It's a very difficult job to do a table topics evaluator because you have to do it really quick. You have 2 minutes basically to evaluate several people. So she did a really good job as far as doing that. She gave things she liked with each speech. She didn't have recommendations for everybody. All I would say is there were a few people that forgot that when they came up, they have to shake hands with the table topics masters, and then when you leave, don't just walk off the stage. You have to wait until the topics master comes back up so you can shake hands. We want to make sure that somebody is always at the helm of the ship, is the analogy we use. So just make sure before you go to wait until somebody else comes up and you can shake their hand, and then go. Okay, so the next evaluation is, evaluator I'm evaluating is Tom Trainer. Tom Trainer evaluated Upendra Sharma for his icebreaker. And Tom gave an excellent introduction, and I assume that Upendra had given you that ahead of time, yes. But that has set a good tone, how he came out and, gave a very strong introduction. He had some points that he thought that Upendra did very, very well, and he told those. And he also had some recommendations for Upendra. And he ended with praise. So he gave a common evaluation technique where first you give some things you do well, then you give some things for improvement, and then you end with things you do well. And I don't have a lot to say for Tom. Tom's pretty much an expert evaluator, so I don't have a recommendation for him. Art Atkinson is the next evaluator. Art also gave a good intro in the fact that he explained about Rahul doing the manual again. And this is good for people that are guests. You can actually go through the Competent Communicator Manual several times, and each time you just step it up and do it even better. So I thought that it was good how Art pointed that out. And he also gave Rahul the points that he thought Rahul did very well, and he also gave recommendations. And because Rahul is going through his manual for the second time, he, also stepped up the evaluations and expected more from him. So he did that well. And something very important, he's noted that the evaluator needs to have some advance notice and be given an introduction and so on. So he did that very well. Again, Art's an excellent evaluator. I don't have any recommendation points, so you can nick me on that. But now I will turn our meeting over to the Toastmaster, Jesus Briggs.
Our goal is to start in time and to finish in time, and I think that we are right on track at this point. So without further ado, I'd like to get you to get some drum roll because we're going to call out for our best table topic. Our guest Bar, will you please come and receive your award? I'd like to present the ribbon for our icebreaker, Rahul Bhatt. Another icebreaker for Upendra Sharma.
Yo!
Now, our best speakers. Drum rolls, please. Upendra Sharma.
Yay!
CC10, that's a great achievement. Thank you very much for all evaluations and support and inspiration. Thank you.
Our best our best evaluator. Comments to our president, Will Burns.
Yo!
Jesus, thank you. Now I'd like to take a minute here to comments from our guests? I'll start with Barb.
Nice meeting.
Thank you. And thank you for coming up here, and embracing the spirit and just attacking this opportunity with the table topics. And our other guest also attacked table topics as well. Chris, do you have any comments?
Yes, it's a wonderful experience to get up and do a table topic. I've never been unprepared to speak, and I love the evaluations because it keeps everybody involved in the group.
Thank you as well. I think that really captures right there, the ability to speak off the cuff and deliver an awesome table topics, award-winning table topics, and also to come up here and to kind of find a pause or just to kind of see what the limits of our abilities are. And certainly we had speeches about that. Both speeches today focused on success and failure. And I would love to hear more speeches. I mean, we've kind of been sort of short on speeches recently. And so I would encourage each and every one of you to sign up for speeches. And I know that one of the biggest culprits here, somebody who hasn't pushed himself. I've done a lot of the leadership roles myself, but I have not spoken here for a while. And so I will embrace this by being the first person to sign up here for Jyoti Raj. So please see Jyoti, see myself. If you want to speak, we'd love to have you. And with that, it's my pleasure to adjourn.